Time for science. Get out your study guide. What question are we on?
I think we left
On 3?
I have 2.
Okay. Well, we might not have answered. Oh yeah, we can answer that. So remember, do you remember what experimental variables are?
You have the gene code experiment, like if you were testing the detergent, you're gonna need the same amount of detergent, same washing machine, same brand soap.
Yeah, so variables are things that affect the outcome of the experiment, and we can either learn from them, like if you're testing the different types of detergent, the different types of detergent are a variable we want because we're learning from that which one works better. Or it can impede what we learn from our variable that we want to learn from. So for example, when Mythbusters had the elephant with the mouse, and they were trying to see if if elephants were wary of mice, they had the mouse under a dung pile. They moved the dung pile to reveal the mouse. The elephant reacted. They thought it was the movement of the dung pile that startled the elephant. So that was a variable that they didn't need to learn about. So they removed the mouse variable and just tried the movement of the dung pile to see if the elephant reacted the same way. But they didn't, so they ruled that out as being a variable that was interacting with the elephant. Does that make sense? So for question 2, when is an experimental variable good and when should it be reduced or eliminated? What should we say? So think back to the detergent. What experimental variable are we trying to learn from? The detergent brands. So anytime we want that variable. So anytime that you're learning from the variables are good. Anytime it affects the outcome of an experiment without helping us learn anything, it's bad. So for example, the detergent, having different washing machines wash clothes differently. That can impact it, and then that won't give us an honest answer of which detergent is better. Having different types of water from different places. Different water has different chemicals in it. That can impact how well detergent works. So that's bad. Temperatures clean clothes differently. Cold water versus warm water will clean a shirt completely differently. So that's a variable that's bad because it would impact the experiment without letting us see the truth behind just the detergent. So you want to make things as simple as possible as far as what can impact the outcome. So an experimental variable is good when you're learning from them. They need to be reduced or eliminated When they impact the experiment, but teach us nothing. Okay. So just a refresher on, because questions, I think 4, 5, 6, and 7 that we still have to do are in relation to that little story thing in there. So refresher on that story. A consumer laboratory decides to test the effectiveness of different laundry detergents. 5 white shirts are stained with grass stains and put into 5 different washers. In one washer, no laundry detergent is used. In the other 4 washers, 4 different types of laundry detergent are used. 1 type in each washer. Water from the same source is used to fill each washer. The washers are then turned on, and once they are finished, the shirts are examined by eye to see which is the cleanest. Okay, so what is the experimental variable that will be used to learn something from the experiment?
There's only one. There's only one variable.
There's only one that you're going to learn from. So what experimental variable will be used to learn something from this experiment?
Is it something to use the washing machine? Or like
What are they trying to learn with this experiment, baby?
which detergent cleans better?
So which variable will impact what they learn in the way that they're going to use it to learn what they're trying to learn?
Different detergents.
There you go. Different laundry detergents are the good variable. Okay, number 5. What are the experimental variables that need to be reduced or eliminated? So what can impact the outcome of this experiment and impact what we learn about the different detergents? It's not going to explicitly state it in the story. But it's stuff I talked about, some of it.
And this, are they saying needs to be more of?
Reduced or eliminated. Eliminated means gotten rid of.
Is it on a specific page in the book?
No, baby, you have to look at the experiment and think about what variables can impact the outcome of the experiment. What things could affect how well the detergent works? What things did I talk about that affect how clothes are washed?
If it were washed differently, if each time the shirts were washed differently,
Okay, how would they be washed differently?
it would be put on in different settings in the washing machine, or they would add more detergent in one, or different detergents, or they would do different washing machines.
Well, we want the different detergents because we're trying to see which
Well,
detergent works better.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
But
Different amounts.
okay, yeah, so we want to make sure, so the amount of detergent needs to be the same. What about the water?
It needs to be on the same temperature.
Very good. The water needs to be the same temperature. All the shirts need to be washed on the same setting. in the same washing machine, obviously not at the same time, but every shirt needs to be washed at the same setting in this exact same washing machine. It doesn't have to be okay, we're washing one shirt in this washing machine with this detergent, and we take it out and we put another shirt in. If all the washing machines are the same make and model and brand, they were bought at the same time, in the same year, that would work too. What else? What about the shirts themselves? What variable that's with the shirts could affect the outcome of the experiment?
They need to have the same amount of mess.
They need to have the same amount of stains. They also need to be the same type of material, because think about it, clothes come in all sorts of different types of material. Like I think you have on a t-shirt, which is probably cotton, and I have on this flowy thing that's like nylon. So they would all need to be the same type of shirt. Very good. All the shirts need the same amount of stain and need to be the same type of shirts. Very good. So now do you see how much you have to think when you're like formulating an experiment, especially if you're coming up with your own experiment? Like you have to think about things like this. And don't be like me and see these variables and say, I see a challenge. So I did an experiment my senior year. Was it my senior year? No, it was the year before my senior year of school, where I wanted to see which detergent worked the best on what type of stain. So I got squares of fabric that I got black, I got bright color, I think I got purple or red. No, I didn't get red. It was either purple or blue. And then I got white. And then I made a list of all the different kinds of stains. So I used pasta sauce, grass, oil, blood, and ink. And then I got different types of detergent like Dreft, Tide, OxiClean. And then we washed them all in the same temperature, in the same washing machine, using the detergents. It was so much laundry. Found out OxiClean works really well on blood. So. Okay, question number 6. What could be done to reduce or eliminate the unwanted experimental variables? So we kind of answered that with number 5, but make sure the washing machines are the same. Make sure the setting is the same. Make sure that the amount of detergent is the same. Make sure that the shirts are the same. So basically be observant and make sure everything is the same. Okay, and then question 7. Is the data objective or subjective?
Objective mean that you can objective.
Do we remember what objective and subjective means?
No.
Subjective means that it's based on opinion or point of view. So remember when we talked about that music experiment? Okay, that would be an subjective data because people's moods are subjective to them. Like we might think, oh, well, somebody's crabby, but they might think they're not crabby. Make sense? Objective is in data we can chart. So like if you were doing an experiment to look at what makes a plant grow better, like if talking to them or not talking to them makes a plant grow better, we can chart how big. So like we have one plant that we talk to and we have one we don't, and we can measure how big they grow. So that would be objective data. So would this data about stains be objective or subjective?
Subjective.
Very good. How stained something is and how much of the stain is left is a very subjective thing. It varies from person to person. Okay. We're gonna stop there. The bell's gonna ring in a minute anyways, and we'll pick back up tomorrow, hopefully with an experiment. And hopefully accidentally.